Okay, well, welcome guys. It's a nice chilly evening and good time to talk about stuff. The last couple of weeks we've been looking at the 5 parts of ourselves, and really it's looking at the different areas of ourselves that we have a consciousness and awareness. We tend to think that we have one center of awareness, but actually there are 5 different centers of awareness. They come together, and if they're working well, we have a very well developed and multi-layered awareness. And we're looking at the 5 ways of knowing, that each area has its own way of knowing. And how we know, and what we know, and how the different ways of knowing interact. And without going through everything we did the last week or two, it's basically our mind, our body, our heart, which is our relationships, our soul and our spirit. And in each of those areas we know differently, or we know uniquely. With our mind, and we're talking about, we talked about that last week, I mean, with our mind we think, we have information, we have thoughts, and we try to understand, we try to create structure and put stuff into place in our mind. In our heart, we think with our feelings. We know through our feelings, and we have a mixed relationship with our feelings. So that form of knowing is mixed, because we also don't know very well what our feelings are saying. Next week we're focusing on that. What are our feelings in fact? What do they say, and how do we read them? How do we know what they say? How do we get emotional information without getting emotional slants? Because it's very easy for a feeling to become its own end rather than a message, which it is. And then the way we talk about tonight is intuition. How do we know with our body? And what is intuition? What is a gut sense? What does it mean to have intuition? What does it mean to have a felt sense? What does it mean to say, I know? And I know that I know. I don't know why, but I know. And it's not a well-developed area, because it falls way down on the scale of how society works. We get pumped with a lot of education. We have 12 to 15 to 20 years of forming of our mind, of how we think, of how we manage and manipulate information. So for most of us, we trust our thoughts, we trust our thinking process. And then some of us are reasonably developed emotionally. Some of us aren't well developed at all emotionally, depending on how our mind manages our feelings. If our mind says to our feelings, well, this is nonsense, then our feelings become areas of difficulty because we don't trust them. But when you look at, some of us have developed more emotional development, and we trust our feelings. But that again is not intuition. So by the time you've got beyond the thoughts and beyond the feelings, intuition is way down the track. And it's no wonder that, it isn't a well-developed function. And so we don't get into a knowing that is actually transformative in that way. We tend to think of knowing as, what do I think? And then sometimes, what do I feel? So tonight we're looking at intuition specifically, and how to identify it, how to access it, and how to develop it, because it's not that it's not there. It's just not the place, our default drive, so we don't go there, so we end up not trusting it, and we end up allowing our mind to say, well, that actually doesn't make sense, so let me leave it alone. And as a result, we tend to be not well developed in that area. Our soul and our spirit are largely our past, our history. Our soul carries all of our knowing, which is our story. And so when we know through our experience, our wisdom, our development, it's our soul knowing. And when we know in our spirit, we know in a sense of direction, in a sense of ambition, of drive, of looking forward. And each way of knowing has its strengths and its weaknesses. So it's not like each way of knowing is necessarily complete in itself. It has false ways of knowing. You can have false information and get the whole theory wrong, but still believe it's right and argue with somebody else and not want to know that there's another way of seeing. Your spirit could be saying, if you had a lot of money, you'd be happy. So you spend your life rushing after a pot of gold and get to the end of the rainbow and realize that there's nothing there. You've got all the money you ever wanted, and you're no happier than you were 40 years ago. And then you realize you've been chasing false spirit. True spirit actually draws you into deeper reality, but it contextualizes it and makes it transformative, not avoided. So each way of knowing, it has its strengths, but the real strength is when all 5 ways of knowing cooperate. Collaborate, cooperate, corroborate, and we develop a multifaceted, experiential, solid, deeper knowing that we feel this is it. This is what I must do. This is what I must do. And when you get to that point of conviction, without proof necessarily, because often you can't prove it, then you know you're operating out of a deeper place, and often it's a lot more satisfying.